Have you ever performed stand-up? When I was a kid, I loved watching stand-up comedians on TV. And when I heard a joke that was really funny, I wrote it down in this now ancient text. This is the actual notebook I had. I mean, I was really interested in studying the craft of how they wrote these jokes. Later in college and then after college, I performed stand-up. I loved it. I loved performing, but I didn't like the idea of spending my life on the road. So I thought, well, maybe I'll become a comedy writer. And many comedians become comedy writers, but it's not a path to becoming a comedy writer. There's just overlap. You have the thing that you have in common is that you're funny. You really have to understand and study story structure if you want a career that lasts more than 10 minutes. Now, in the beginning of my career, it was all about, here's the setup and the laugh, the setup, the laugh, setup, laugh. And it was taking the audience on that roller coaster. And then it became like, okay, well, how do I make the fall? Because the fall is the fun part. How do you make the fall longer? So I thought, well, make the top higher, take more time to get that setup. And I became interested in that. And then as I matured as a writer, I realized that's not how you make the fall longer. To make the fall longer, you got to make the bottom lower. And so that's what I do now. So I'm back to performing a paper orchestra, which is my collection of personal essays. And I'll be taking it back on the road, hopefully in the summer when my book drops. And so the way I do that is I'm not really interested in performing stand-up now. It doesn't interest me. So it's really more about making the drop. So the way I do that is it's funny. We're all laughing. And then we go into that free fall. This is fun. And then the bottom keeps dropping and it turns dramatic. And then the audience is like, well, when are we going to crater out? And it becomes almost like you're like white knuckling it. It becomes tragic or scary. To me, that's interesting. That's the part where the audience is like really hooked into it, is when you're not doing the funny part. So if you want to come see my show, A Paper Orchestra, on some platforms there's a link. There's a sign-up button. You can click that. Or you can go to michaeljamin.com/upcoming and enter your nearest big city. Now, some people, they write, their city is like Flip-Flop Junction. And then it's like, no, your nearest big city. And then they're like, oh, okay, unincorporated Flip-Flop Junction. Not unincorporated your nearest big city. Chicago. Yes, okay, Chicago, that's the big city. So I hope that you come see me in your nearest big city. Sign up. It's really, it's not stand-up comedy and it's not storytelling. It's something different. Which it just interests me. It's really about taking the audience on that emotional journey, the complete journey. I hope to see you there. A Paper Orchestra. Sign up. Thanks so much.